question that they ask you most about how you got 3 kids to go D1 and 2 in the NFL?
They want to know, in general, how I did it. I believe in breeding. Look at you, good athlete. I'm black, mom's white. Now I don't step on it once. You can't keep stepping on it because you're gonna mess it up. You're gonna weaken it.
You can't keep cutting it.
Can't keep cutting it. No, no. You in Brooklyn because Brooklyn's half. You got a chance.
If I cut it one more time, it's over.
You can't keep cutting it. You gotta be careful. You can't keep cutting it. You gotta think about that. You know what I mean? No.
I like how he's dead ass.
If I'm black, I got the black gold running through my veins. Oh, I'm excited. I'm just gonna find the right person to mate with. Right? And if I'm white, I'm saying, let me get one of these brothers around here. If you want to have athletes. If you don't have athletes, then just go ahead and just spread your seed wherever.
So why'd you cut it once with us?
Because he could.
I know I can cut it once.
Because he's gold.
I got that black gold in me. And Mama got that big chin and big toes. I said, look, ain't nothing wrong with big toe woman.
Big chin. Who says a big chin?
You got to think of this stuff. Some guys don't think of it until later. They go, like I'm standing at Pop Warner. You wouldn't know it. You on the field, and one of you guys on the field playing. And I was talking to a guy, told him this story. He goes, you were thinking about that, John? I go, yeah, you weren't? He goes, hell no. Okay, man, he's little, the wife is little, kids are little, everybody's little.
It's over?
Little. Chicken little.
Hey, yo, black man, what's happening? Peace. Now, in this one, no 2K in the background. I know you guys like the 2K, but listen, not today. And what I'm showing you guys, man, in that video, it's a pretty touchy topic. It could be sensitive to some people. And, in my personal opinion, it actually hurts black people when we perform eugenics because at least black people, specifically in America, it hurts us because we're not focusing on the good things, right? Now, right, the young man asked the older black man, listen, how are you able to create or how are you able to succeed in having 3 sons all go D1 and 2 are in the NFL? And he said breeding. Now, I don't like the fact that he used that word because it goes back to the slave master. I hate to bring it back to that. Like I just said, you can breed a dog, you can breed a plant, for certain characteristics and genetics, right? But with human beings, it's so disingenuous to operate that way because when people are doing it for the simple fact of sports, and again, most black men in America who pick up a basketball and dribble, who runs 50 yards down the field to catch a Hail Mary, these guys will never wear a jersey with a D1 school on the front of it. These guys will never play for an organization. They will never play for an organization that is going to give them millions of dollars, right? For some of these black dudes, and I'm off topic, right? Some of these black dudes, you playing football for a school. Listen, a white person would probably never shake your hand that's from that state. For some of them dudes playing football down there in Alabama, you feel me? Those white people in Alabama would never shake your hand. But because you wear that Alabama jersey, listen, those white people are willing to look past that and shake your hand. That's the kind of eugenics black people are trying to play in America. And it's very strange to me. Right. And again, it hurts us because we're not dominating in any other area that's actually realistic, that's actually, something long term that our people can live off of. We can't live off of sports. We can't create our own off of sports. As good as black people are, why don't we own these organizations? I understand. Listen, they put some dudes in not even the driver's seat. They put you in the passenger seat. They put you in the back seat. You sitting in the middle. You feel me? But they'll like to put you on the roster, not the actual playing roster, but the corporate side as far as ownership. Because isn't Michael Jordan, doesn't he own the Charlotte Hornets? If he doesn't currently, he did in the past. I just saw something about Derrick Rose getting he's like a head coach or something like that for the Bulls, or he will be like a assistant head coach, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But again, sports is not taking you too far outside of just entertainment. And again, black people, we don't need to dominate entertainment. We need to dominate areas that we can build off of. We don't own these same. Listen, if black people own the same teams that we play for, that would be a difference. If we own the organization, the league that we play for, that would be a difference. Downside is though we don't own that. You see, and listen, I'm gonna get to it real quick. Hold on, give me a minute. If you guys watch that movie Django, right, you realize I forgot what it was called, but it's basically the same thing as the Roman gladiators, man. When they put the slaves against the other slaves to compete and to fight. Why? Because we need the strongest buck to go in the field. He can pick up 16 bags of cotton at one time. He's basically the black Hercules. You feel me? We need that. So they put us at war with each other to figure out, okay, who's the strongest, who's the fastest, who's the biggest. Yo, black people, you operating like that, you're still supporting the white man's ideology. You feel me? Do some of you people understand where the word motherfucker came from? Listen, because that 6'4", 250 black man was a tall, big dude. Listen, that white man said, listen, I'm gonna put a blindfold on your head. I'm gonna put a bag on your mother head. I'm gonna make you fuck your mom. And guess what? Incest. So we can create another one of him. So listen, if that same kid, especially a boy, came out to be 6'4", 250 like his dad, he's produced from incest. You feel me? So you know he's gonna be stupid as fuck. Let's be for real. You know what I mean? So again, I'm not saying that's what these black people are doing in this video clip, but again, this is how deep eugenics get because this was their idea. So why, as a black people, are we adapting this? It's sick. It's really sick. Now, look at this comment section, right? And I'm gonna keep on talking my talk. I'm gonna let you guys watch the comment sections. Listen, in the comments, listen, just put down whatever comments you saw that really threw you off. And mind you, what's crazy to me, those comments were getting hundreds, thousands of likes. I'm like, okay, it's strange, but here we go. So I'm gonna keep on talking my talk, right? And when it comes to these sports, again, other groups of people, yeah, they play sports. They have athletic people, but again, black people, we come from, especially the ones in America, right? South America, North America, Central America. We come from that West African DNA. So you heard the black man talk about black gold, and I'm not really sure what he means by black gold. I'm assuming this, right? Black gold means that if you, as a black man, impregnate a non-black woman and that kid comes out to look more like the woman and not you, you don't have black gold. You feel me? If the kid looks more like her, the kid has more of her features, and especially if the kid comes out with her complexion more than yours, I guess that means you don't have black gold. Or I guess if the kid isn't athletic or the kid isn't 6 foot. At this point, honestly, I don't know what these dudes are talking about, dude. We're West African descent. We all have that black gold running through us. If you look at West Africans on the continent compared to Southern and Eastern African and Northern African people, which are not even us for real, but when you look at that, listen, West Africans are bigger. You feel me? West Africans are naturally bigger people. So it just kind of goes to show, listen, on the American side, we just produce a bigger group of people no matter who you mix us with. And all right, black people in America, we dominate sports. I mean, even in these other countries, right? We know about Brazilians being great at baseball. We know about Dominicans being great at baseball. I said Brazilians great at baseball. I'm sorry. Brazilians are good at football, the real football, right? Not American football, aka soccer. Dominicans are great at baseball. So we know that, listen, yeah, our West African genetics, it allows us to be great at sports. Why? Because we are naturally athletic on average. Now, can every black man dunk a basketball? No. No. And let's talk about the reality, right? Because yeah, we may dominate sports, rap, music, and stuff like that. But what about reality? You feel me? The stereotype behind Asian people being great at math. Again, we all went to we all went to public school with Asian people. You feel me? If you went to college, you probably met international Asian people, people born and raised in Asia. And listen, these are some smart people. especially when it comes to math. Again, have you ever seen have you ever seen an Asian person, like, again, born and raised in China, Japan, South Korea, when they do math? Listen, it's a simplified way from how we do math in America. There's a reason why they can dominate in these areas, because they simplify something that we still take the long route to do. You feel me? So again, they might practice eugenics in a certain way. Well, listen, we only want, full blood South Korean people. We want full blood Chinese people. We want full blood Japanese people. You feel me? That's eugenics. But when they practice eugenics, it benefits them. If you ever travel to South Korea, Japan, or China, any major city in China, you see, okay, their civilization, it's stable. They love stability across the board. You feel me? That's good. That's good eugenics. You feel me? In my opinion, that's good eugenics. Now, we all went to we all went to high school with these same dudes. Again, we all know black dudes in high school, whether they was from the suburbs or the hood. We knew dudes who were great at sports, and guess what? He never went D1. We knew dudes who were great at sports, and he never went pro, but he went D1. You feel me? Those same dudes in high school, a lot of them, listen, these are not the brightest set of people. Let's keep it a stack. The guys who are the best at sports, black people in America, the ones who are the best, these are not the brightest dudes, man. Sports was his only way out. You feel me? And if he didn't make it out, he had to pivot towards being a fry cook. Matter of fact, it's a stereotype. We all know how back in school, listen, the dudes who didn't make it as an athlete, but he was good, now he's in the streets. You feel me? Now he's the biggest plug. Now he is kicking in your front door. Now he's hitting your uncle off with the pack in the elevator. You feel me? Like these dudes, it's crazy to me because, again, we're focused on the wrong thing. We are, listen, a lot of those dudes back in school, if teachers wasn't passing them, they wouldn't have even graduated, man. Because let's keep it a stack. You can't just end up playing D1 just like that. You can't just end up playing in the NFL just like that. Again, hold on. You have people like LeVar Ball. He has the three mellow kids. I said the three mellow kids, the three ball kids, right? LaMelo, Gilo, right? The son, I forgot their names really, man. The one that played for Chicago Bulls, Charlotte Hornets, and the one that was stealing in China. Listen, all of them played D1 ball. What's the reality? Again, he has money, right? He has connections. Again, just focusing on the fact that, oh, my kid's gonna be 6'5", you know what I mean? Black women. Oh, see, listen, we already know they're programmed the same way black men are programmed. Not all of us. I think some of us reject the programming, 10%, and then you have a large percentage that accepts the programming. But I think even every dude who once was an athlete, whether you only played high school, whether you made it D1 and you didn't go to the league, I mean, yeah, your kid playing the sport that you played, that's cool and all, but give them an option. Black people, we're just kind of forcing our kid into that, hoping that it pays off, right? And it's a lottery. Like, come on, son, it's a lottery ticket. It's really a lottery ticket. Like, it's not that many available positions for people to be, focusing on. Oh, my kid needs to be 6'5". You feel me? And the dude was talking about breeding and everything, against selective breeding. Even if, because let me tell you something real quick, right? Maybe it might be different in other parts of the country. One thing about down south, we all know all the football players come from the south. You don't think that kid's mother was playing the eugenics game? You don't think she was on that selective breeding game? Like I just told you, these athletes are not the brightest dudes. There's a reason why that whole stereotype, that whole trope of the jocks being dumb was even created, because let's keep it a stack. Those type of dudes are not the brightest guys in the classroom. He's not the sharpest tool in the box. Again, some of these dudes, dead ass, listen, he walks up to the door, it says push, and he pulls. Some of these dudes, listen, when I was in school, I remember they passed the bill, No Child Left Behind. So on top of the fact that you can't even fail kids no more, you can't even have them held back. On top of the fact that teachers are gonna pass these kids along, especially because they want to see him play in the game on Friday night. Listen, a lot of these dudes aren't mentally capable. A lot of these dudes are incapable of actually performing simple tasks. Again, when it comes to eugenics, blacks, why are we not focused on producing with kids? I'm sorry, why, when it comes to eugenics, black women aren't focused on producing with guys who can actually produce? I talked about this a long time ago. Again, I was talking about eugenics for a little minute, but it seems like when it comes to what black women want, right? Because they are thinking about the fact that, listen, we can make NBA babies, D1 babies, as people call it. And I'm like, well, listen, that's a pipe dream. That's a pipe dream. Again, I know sometimes people, listen, they want to give their kids even more of an advantage, which is going to only be a select few black people who put their kids in like a charter school, a Christian school. Maybe they take their kids to some school way deep out in the outskirts of the city. You feel me? Where you're probably going to school around white kids and you're the only black kid on the team, or maybe the one of the few black kids on the team. And listen, you can, outplay your teammates and get a scholarship a day. That's the black people who actually have money to move their family around. You feel me? Listen, we all know in the in the inner city, in those ghettos and those projects, listen, you got black kids, pretty much that's their only way out. You feel me? These kids are going to school, and listen, half of the team are like D1 level hoopers. Half of the football team are D1 level players, man. They're all on that level, but guess what? They can't get a scholarship because you're competing against, like, again, guys who are really on your level, if not better. You feel me? And again, when it comes to going D1, you got to have the grades. Again, that's why teachers pass those guys along, even knowing damn well he doesn't have a backup plan. We all know sports is really a lottery ticket dream, dude. Just like rap music. Because one thing about the industry, it doesn't matter if it's sports, it doesn't matter if it's music, it doesn't matter if it's acting, you feel me, being on TV. It's all the industry because it all falls under entertainment. Who controls entertainment in America? And again, when it comes to sports, American football, American basketball, listen, it's just like the Roman gladiators, man. We need to see the biggest. We need to see the fastest. We need to see the dudes who you just wouldn't see on a regular day. Guys like Kevin Durant, 6'10". How many 6'10" men have you ever met in your life? How many guys walking around in your city that you just bump into and he's 6'10"? That's too much of an anomaly. That's rare. You feel me? And people are trying to, specifically black Americans, are trying to focus on we need to create the biggest. You're operating like the white man did. You feel me? The slave master. You adapt to his mindset because you're trying to play God in a way where, listen, you hyperfixate on dominating in one area, but we lack so much growth in other areas that actually matter. You feel me? So let me show you guys something real quick. I did listen, forget ChatGPT. We use Gemini, right? I was asking the AI certain questions about sports. And listen, when it comes to sports, listen, what I keep telling you dudes, it is a lottery ticket. So black people are sacrificing, specifically black women. Black men, you just kind of go along with it just so you can get your dick wet. You dudes are so desperate for some pussy, you'll just accept whatever comes your way. Be honest, right? So when it comes to this sports stuff, look at this. In the NFL standard picks, the NFL draft has 7 rounds with 32 teams. That means there are a baseline of 7 times 32, 2,244 standard picks, compository picks. The NFL awards up to 32 extra compensatory picks to teams that have lost more or better free agents than they've gained in the previous year. These picks are placed at the end of round 3 through 7. The combined total of standard and compensatory picks generally results in 256 to 262 total selections. So every year, around 256 to 262 players get drafted every year, right? We already know, again, just making it to D1. You feel me? Just making it D1, that's already a slim chance, especially if you go to a school in an area where, listen, the talent is high. Like I mentioned before, people take their kids and put them in areas where I forgot how it's ranked. It's like AA2 or AA, like triple A or double A or like quadruple A, something like that. That's it. Whatever zone you live in is like the level, right? It's the level of I guess the competition of the sport. You feel me? I forgot how it's structured, but yeah, it's like triple A or A4, A3, something like that, right? But again, going pro, NFL, so for the kids that can make it D1, 256 to 262 jobs. You have more employees working at Lowe's on a regular day. Maybe not Lowe's. I'm probably exaggerating. Lowe's isn't that big, but again, 250 positions. Come on, son. That's not a lot of positions. Again, the average football team has what, 32 players on it. You feel me? There's like a backup. There's a second string person for every position, plus the red shirts. Like, come on, dude. So, and it's like what, 32 teams. Come on, dude. So you got at least what, 2,000 plus kids competing for 250 spots. And those are the ones who can make it D1. Like I said, and every kid who goes D1, so many kids get kicked out of school. So many kids cannot maintain a high enough GPA average to remain on the team. So you cutting the numbers down so slim right now. So slim. So as a black woman, you're thinking to yourself, oh, my son gotta be tall. He'll play football. He has to compete. Dare I even say millions of black boys for however many kids go D1, but then those same kids have to compete for 250 jobs? Come on. Come on. All right, check this one out. Rounds. The draft has 2 rounds. This is for the NBA. Teams, there are 30 teams, total picks, with 1 pick per team in each round. The standard total is 30 times 2, which is 60. Unlike the NFL, the NBA does not have compensatory picks that increases the total number of selections. However, the total number can occasionally be less than 60 if a team is penalized by the league and forced to forfeit a draft pick. In the 2025 NBA draft had 59 picks. So for black kids who go and play basketball, right? 30 NBA teams. If I'm not mistaken, it's a lot of college teams, dude. It's like what, 60, 90 college basketball teams? It's a lot of them, right? And it's like what, 10 to 12 players per team? And we have to compete for 60 jobs. We have to compete for 60 jobs. Matter of fact, hold on. I have to ask ChatGPT while I'm sitting right here. I have to ask them, how many current collegiate D1 players are there playing basketball right now? The total number of current Division 1 college basketball players is approximately 10,600 to 11,000 students. Wow. So for men's basketball, 5,600. There are 364 men's basketball teams, and each roster has 15 to 17 players. Wow. So it's 5,460 men, right, playing D1 basketball right now. And all those 5,000, we could just round it 5,500 young men. Who knows how many are black, right? And that's the ones who can make it to be D1, because we all know people that had hoop dreams or playing ball dreams. You know what I mean? So they're competing for 60 jobs. Again, these are just the guys who can make it D1. These are the guys who can make it D1. There are millions of black boys competing for 60 jobs. Do you understand the percentage behind that? How many young kids, again, they play pee wee basketball, pee wee football, they play AAU, middle school, high school. Listen, most kids spend their childhood 10 plus years playing one sport just to realize when he graduates high school or when the season is over in his senior year, when he goes to his huddle, he's not getting no views, he's not getting no exposure, no coaches, no scouts are coming to talk to him. His dreams are crushed when he finds out he has to go when he finds out he has to go D2 and work even harder to try and make it D1. Yo, listen, these dudes are spending 15 years on average playing one sport. It's some dudes who are still trying to redshirt at 23 years old. People start college at 18. When you get that scholarship, you go to college at 18. Dudes are trying to redshirt and do walk-ons at 22, 23 years old, 24 years old. Yo, by that time, dudes who didn't make it pro are probably playing overseas. You feel me? But again, are black men, pushing this? Maybe. I think black women pushing more just because they control which men get to, really get to have kids for real, especially early on, right? Especially early on. But again, they're thinking to themselves, listen, we can create NBA kids. You feel me? So you trying to look for a tall dude so your son can get out here and compete for 60 jobs. Because again, even the NIL deals, if you're not one of the dudes, listen, the same players in college right now who will get an NIL deal is the same dude who's going pro. He's going to the NFL. He's going to the NBA. He has an NIL deal for a reason, because he's good. If you're redshirting, you're not getting an NIL deal. If you're on the practice squad, you're not getting an NIL deal. If you're on second string, third string, you're not getting a NIL deal. NIL deals are for the stars, who's guaranteed going pro. And like I said, dude, going pro, it's a storyline behind it. They want the dudes from the ghettos, the worst projects. You feel me? Growing up in the slums. You feel me? They need someone who's willing to get in position to get in position. But let me keep going, right? So check this one out. This one is about football, the real football, right? AKA soccer. Men's football in 2024, there are over 20,200 international transfers of professional male players recorded. In the mid-year window of 2025 alone, there were almost 12,000 international transfers. This number represents players moving from one club. This number represents players moving from one club in one country to a club in another country. You feel me? And then the women is growing rapidly with over 2,200 international transfers of professional females recorded in 2024. So basically, over 22,000 players, right? And this one is a better estimate. And this one right here is a better description of it, because this represents new players, right? He's fresh to the professional level, right? For most major leagues, the only players who are truly new to the professional football are those promoted from the club's own youth academy. Global estimate: while there isn't a precise global number, given that FIFA recognized almost 4,000 professional men's clubs in 2023, and each major club typically promotes at least a few academy players to the senior team annually. The new number is in the likely low thousands per year. And again, this represents people who are coming in from Europe, South America, or an Asian country, right? So if you look at the overall total, including the domestic and international, it's about 50,000 players. So 50,000 players gets an opportunity to play for a professional team, right? Whether how long, maybe 1 year, 2 years. I mean, is every dude going to be like Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar? Most likely not. But again, most dudes can try. But again, 50,000 players. And again, 22,000 or 20,000 of those players being male. So dudes have more of an opportunity. Now, this right here, this is more for, you know, overseas brothers. You thinking big, you thinking long term. Listen, you see the bigger picture. You feel me? If you really want to go the sports route and push your kids into sports, I'm showing you the better option right here, right? And this one right here is for the MLB. So, who is eligible? Amateur players from the US, Canada, and Puerto Rico, including high school and college players. The MLB draft currently has 20 rounds with 30 teams. This results in approximately 600 to 620 players drafted each year, including compository picks. Right? On the international level, the only players considered international who are drafted are those from Canada and Puerto Rico, right? But born in the US, and sometimes a few US born players who grew up abroad. Now you have the international free agency, right? Who is eligible? All players from other countries, most notable, like I said earlier, right? Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Cuba, Asian nations like Japan and South Korea. There is no official draft number, but hundreds of players are signed during the international signing period, which is from January to December, right? While only top tier prospects, around 50 to 100 players, receive large publicized bonuses, the total number of players signed by all 30 MLB clubs typically reaches 500 to 1,000 per year, depending on the team, international bonus pools, and strategy. So, I mean, if you guys really want to focus on your kids playing sports, black men, here you go. I mean, it's still a pipe dream in my honest opinion. But let me get back to what the dude said in the beginning, right? If you cut it too many times. So he was talking about, listen, if you have a son, right, and your son, he's half black, half whatever, half Asian, half Latino, half white. Even the black dude said, listen, his kid that was on the podcast interviewing him is half black, half white. And his son has a, I guess, half black, half Asian wife, and they have a kid. But the dad said, listen, if you cut it, right, if you cut it one more time, it's done. So that black gold he's talking about, listen, that's the West African genetics. So yeah, he has a point to that. But I mean, how much are you guys focused on that? I mentioned this a long time ago. Listen, if you have kids with a non-black woman, listen, you're not a purebred black person. Yeah, your son probably won't be able to jump from the free throw line like Jordan. Your son probably can't run. What was Usain Bolt time in the 100-yard dash, or you know what I mean? Whatever his time was, your son won't be Usain Bolt. Your son probably can't catch one hand touchdowns like Odell Beckham. You feel me? Your son probably can't run a football like Michael Vick. I mean, how important is that to you guys? Because like I said, we dominate in sports, and we got so many young black men, millions, hundreds of thousands of young black men competing for what, 60 jobs, 250 jobs? Come on, son. When you can put your kid in, and listen, most soccer players, listen, Ronaldo and Messi, Neymar, them dudes are not tall. The average baseball player is like what, 6'2", 6'1"? You feel me? Most baseball players are like 5'8", 5'9", up to like 6'1". For real, for real. Soccer players, again, you have some that are 6'3", but most soccer players are like 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". Like, listen, come on, be real. Be real. I mean, we don't need to dominate in sports, but black men, if you want to take that route, listen, if you overseas and you really having kids and you have that black gold, as the man said, there you go. There you go. Anyways, no need for me to keep on rambling in this one. Yo, I'm out. Peace.